Hey guys, what is up? It's Bibs7 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 video here today. In this video, I'm going to be doing an overview and reaction a little bit to the official reveal trailer for the Legacy of Zamorak that just premiered on the RuneScape YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out yet, I would definitely recommend going and watching it yourself. It's a really, really cool video. I watched it during the premiere, and it definitely got me super hyped for this boss fight and the updates coming later in the year. So yeah, really, really well done by them. All the visuals look amazing, and the lines and voices that were used were good, and they were really well written, and it got me super hyped. So I just wanted to jump in and make this video immediately, kind of similar to how I made videos discussing the archaeology video reveals. It's going to be similar in that way, where I'll play some of the video, pause it, talk about my stuff and my thoughts, and go from there. So again, if you haven't watched it, this isn't going to be the best viewing experience for the first time, but it is cool to just be able to pause it and look at some of the visuals and stuff. So let's just get into it here.
Battle Zamorak in an epic new boss fight. Return to a reborn wilderness with optional PvP. All this and more coming in Legacy of Zamorak, RuneScape's exciting new storyline. Here are the updates you'll be playing over the next few months.
Just look at that amazing graphic, so good.
Zamorak, Lord of Chaos, is an epic 1 to 5 player boss experience.
Okay, so this was the first thing that surprised me a lot, because anybody that's done any of the other Elite Dungeons obviously knows those are 1 to 3 players, and he says here that it's a 1 to 5 players. So I'm not sure if that means the whole dungeon is 1 to 5 players. I mean, that would obviously make sense. It wouldn't really make sense for you to only do a certain amount of players for the boss and then have it be 1 to 3 for the dungeon. So that's an interesting change. That says to me that it's going to be a lot harder than the other Elite Dungeons, because right now in trios, Elite Dungeons are really not that hard, especially Elite Dungeon 2 would be extremely easy in a trio. And even Ambassador is not that difficult. So, I mean, imagine having Zamorak. I mean, they don't say in this video if it's going to be scaling in any way. I assume probably there will be some differences based on the number of people, at least maybe in terms of HP. But if they're preparing you to be able to have 5 people in this fight and you can do it by yourself, it is going to be freaking hard. So, yeah, let's go ahead and keep playing it here.
Which scales all the way up from an accessible
looks so sick. I mean, come on. He is massive and everything. Okay, first thing right here is clearly this is the tier 95 bow that we've been waiting to see. And he says those who triumph will be rewarded. They don't say what this bow is called, but I mean, look where you're standing. This is at the Guthix in Memorial in Piscatoris. It's clearly Guthix related. I mean, it just has the Guthix look to it. And yeah, definitely going to be some sort of Guthix related bow. I assume you're going to be fighting Zamorak. It kind of looked like, yeah, let me rewind really quick to that scene as well. Sorry, it's again, this is not going to be a good viewing experience. This kind of looks to me like maybe it's the Wilderness Crater. You see these walls and stuff. So it would make sense because you know how the Sword of Guthix is there, how this might be, related to that in some way. But yeah, clearly Guthix, it's going to be like the Guthix God Bow or something like that. Just based on, I mean, they're standing at the memorial. It looks like Guthix. So yeah, looks really, really cool, honestly. I mean, it just doesn't look like what I thought it would at all. Like I thought it would be Zamorak related, but it's not.
Triumph against Zamorak will
And
be rewarded.
then we have this. Who knows what that is? I mean, that's clearly some sort of armor. They just released Crypt Bloom with Croesus, so I have no idea. I mean, that could honestly be. I mean, it doesn't really look like melee armor, does it? I mean, it kind of looks like magic armor because of it's like a skirt type deal. There's not a lot. There's not a lot of other styles that use a skirt, but you could convince me that that might be range armor, or maybe it's hybrid armor. Even that kind of does look like hybrid armor a little bit. But who knows exactly what that is and what level it's going to be, what style, what type, anything really. But it looks pretty cool. And again, yeah, like this could possibly be the Wilderness Crater, where this is where the Sword of Guthix was, or the whatever. Maybe it's been changed. I don't know. But let's keep going.
Highly anticipated and incredibly powerful loot.
Incredibly
For Free
powerful.
Death Week on launch,
Free Death Week.
everyone
They
wants
already
to
mentioned that.
So be it.
Look at that.
Die by my hand.
Sick
Zamorak
as
hunted
heck,
down
dude.
in the wilderness. You're going to have to conquer an elite dungeon to get to him.
Elite
Up to
dungeon?
5 players can head into the dungeon.
Okay, yeah, so 5 at
The
once
dungeon's
in the whole
difficulty,
dungeon.
scaling to your team size.
And okay, it does scale to the team size. I don't think they said it about the specific boss, but I forgot this a little bit. This looks a lot like Sentiston, honestly, but obviously it's not necessarily. It's just similar architecture because Sentiston was constructed around the same time as the old cities in the wilderness, I believe. But yeah, I missed that part where they said it would be scaling. But then the next thing they say is crazy.
The dungeon uses an enrage system. As the enrage
The whole
level
dungeon.
increases, enemies' life points scale up. If you prove yourself
Crazy.
enough times, you unlock the ability to
And
bypass the dungeon.
you can bypass the entire dungeon and just farm Zamorak if you... How did he say it exactly? If you prove yourself enough times. So I assume that means if you make it through at a certain enrage level, you'll unlock this ability to go through the dungeon or skip Zamorak. And some people in my clan kind of made the joke that they couldn't fix the bug that let you skip to the end of the dungeon and fight the boss, like people abused on Ambassador a lot. So they just added it as an unlock, which I thought was kind of funny. Probably not true, but still. That's cool. I like that a lot. Part of what I don't like too much about Elite Dungeons is farming the bot. I mean, farming them is kind of gets boring over time since you have to run through the whole thing, but it can be fun as well in its own way. So it'll be interesting to see. I would hope that if you run through the whole dungeon, there would be at least some increase in your rewards as opposed to skipping straight to the boss. Even, regardless of the fact that you're going to get additional rewards for killing the monsters in the dungeon and what likely will be the other two bosses, the smaller bosses that are in Elite Dungeons. But I mean, now that there's 5 players, who knows? Maybe there won't even be those additional bosses, especially considering the enrage system. But yeah, that is that'll be interesting to see, because I would hope that even though you'll get rewards from clearing the dungeon, there would still be like maybe some additional effect of you getting through the dungeon and then fighting the boss, like an additional, like a higher drop rate, something, just so there's some incentive to actually do the dungeon after you've unlocked the ability to skip. So let's keep going here.
Allowing you to take on Zamorak as many times as you want.
It looks like he has like a minion here. As you can see, there's like a second thing that you're fighting, and I don't know if he gets bigger as the fight goes on, but he looks way bigger here. But yeah, there's a little minion there that they're fighting.
Dungeon, you'll arrive at the true challenge, the god.
The god
himself. You can take Zamorak on as a brave lone warrior.
Solo. There's the minion again.
In groups of up to 5.
Yeah. Okay. So hold on.
Clearly,
Clearly, we're in the Wilderness Crater. I mean, there's the sword right there, and everything. But yeah, there's that minion. Kind of weird.
Battle him in
Groups of up to 5.
The fights and the rewards will scale.
Okay, I don't know if I just wasn't listening during the original video. I was just too hyped and losing my mind at this point. But they do say that it will scale the fight and the rewards, so that's great. I think that's really good. But obviously, I mean, as these things usually go, it's still going to be the hardest in solo for sure.
Players. Zamorak is RuneScape's first group encounter.
And it's a group encounter that uses Enrage. And it doesn't cap. I couldn't believe it when I heard this.
You'll be able to try nearly unlimited difficulty.
And what does nearly unlimited mean? I mean, is it unlimited or is it not? What's the Enrage cap? Why do you not tell us?
The first time ever.
Little tease.
This will be tracked through our new Enrage high scores.
This has me so hyped right here. I think this is amazing. They're adding a new high score for Enrage. And it looks so cool. And it divides it up by groups. It's actually the sickest looking high score ever. If this is an actual picture of the high score, that is so sick. And it looks really, really good. And even if it doesn't look exactly like this, it still has got me super hyped, because that's going to be so cool. And I mean, I hope that it's going to be divided up so that, obviously I'm a hardcore Iron Man player for the most part. If you can make it to the top of those hardcore Iron Man high scores for Zamorak in Raids, that'll be so sick. And it's important to note that this number 1 and all the ones, the 2 below it that you can't see because of the subtitles, I'll hide them there. They are all 5,000% Enrage. Is that the cap? I find that hard to believe, considering he said the cap is not 4,000. It's instead nearly unlimited, and being 5,000 instead of 4,000 is barely a difference in terms of that and unlimited. So, but I mean, this is so sick actually. And I mean, it does make me wonder if there is an Enrage cap. I mean, I assume there is. That's why he didn't say completely unlimited, but there's going to be someone who reaches it first and is like immortalized at the top. Although I assume ties in Enrage will be decided by kill time instead, which can always be improved pretty much. So that's good that they have that there too. And does this mean that we're going to get boss kill time high scores before before too long? It's being shown here, hopefully. But let's keep it going. That's just so sick. I'm so hyped.
Their legacy forever.
Immortalizing.
You never stood a chance.
Probably says that when you get killed. Okay, and that's it for Zamorak.
aftermath of the boss fight.
And now, to be honest here, and again, I know I'm pausing a lot. This is just how I'm gonna do it because I don't want to talk over them, but at the same time, you should have watched the video for yourself. Either way, but from here on, I didn't really pay as much attention because I was already just too busy typing to people about the boss and freaking out. So I'll probably have more first-time reactions here. So first thing we have is a quest here.
Catch up with Moya and Daughter of Chaos.
Daughter of Chaos, new quest, going to be coming after the boss fight. So probably in August.
Daughter of Chaos is the perfect jumping on point for the story.
New story.
Daughter of Chaos focuses on Moya, one of Bilrock's lieutenants, who has been attacking humans.
Bilrock.
In the Order of Misthaven.
Who is that?
Adrastea views her as the biggest threat at this point, so she asks you to travel to the wilderness, track her down, and stop her.
See, I thought we worked together with her, but she did betray us.
Responsibility to safeguard the human kingdoms and maintain their alliance.
This is Saradomin's daughter.
As agents track down
Random.
Moya, you'll come across traces of Moya's memories. Through these traces, you'll be able to see flashbacks of recent events.
This sounds pretty cool.
There's some awesome gameplay segments where you get to play as Moya in a parallel story arc fighting in the Civil War. As
That's
Moya,
the bottom of the
you also
infernal
get to have some
source
cool
right there.
Interactions with other characters you wouldn't normally get to experience.
The Daughter of Chaos quest is the beginning of a brand new period in Gillenor's history. What lies ahead is a brave new world whose fate is in the hands of mortals.
Remember that.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing about the quest. I mean, it sounds pretty cool. I'm looking forward to trying that out. It looks really cool. You get to play as Moya for a couple segments and do some unique stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's really not a whole lot about it. Yeah, Bilrock, I think, Bill Ranch, whatever, something to do with Daemonheim. One day I'll try and read up on all the lore and get up to knowledge with that. Maybe I'll make a video series breaking down all the lore of the game at some point. I mean, I think that could be fun. It would just be a lot of time that I'd have to commit to it, and I don't really have time to do that right now. But yeah, anyway, next thing they talk about is the Wilderness Reborn thing.
Feeling of dread you used to get when venturing into the wilderness. We're all about bringing that back, but this time not from PvP.
Thank you. So glad they're doing
Legacy
this.
of Zamorak storyline. We are modernizing wilderness graphics and gameplay by making PvP optional, as well as introducing a range of new PvM challenges.
That's the
After
key.
looking at NPCs and content currently available, it became very clear that without PvP, there is no real danger. With that in mind, we'll be looking to up the ante. with
Bro,
re-
after all that cool stuff they just showed, look at this guy. He looks like absolute crap. Hopefully they do a new model for him because they're doing a reworked to his Slayer, Wilderness Slayer.
Reworked Mandra Slayer Master, and a load more challenging
Spooky
NPCs
Ripper
that you can
demons.
assign. Should you wish to
Who knows what this is? I mean, I don't know. That looks like a player, but maybe it's a new thing, NPC that's going to be in the wilderness, like an assassin type person.
engage in this Slayer method, you'll be
Yeah, I mean, because look at this. Is that a person or is that an NPC? I don't know.
rewarded for doing so, particularly with a brand new Wilderness Slayer drop table. It's worth mentioning that all NPCs will be aggressive, multi-way combat, and not lose aggression towards you,
Yeah.
regardless.
So I like this a lot. I mean, it gives you an incentive to go there because you don't have to use aggression pots, but still makes it a little more dangerous since it's all multi, all NPCs are aggressive, and they never drop it. So, like, I mean, if you're going to be going there and trying to fight Ripper demons, I wish you luck because that's going to be scary.
Regardless of how long you've been fighting, so you can ensure that no corner of the wilderness will be truly safe.
Along with the new PVM gameplay,
I've never seen this guy
also
before.
improving the in-game visuals. This will not only set the scene for
They're going to be reworking the graphics. Look at the crater. Crater. Oh, that looks so sick. I love that. Looks amazing. My goodness.
During the storyline, you'll find the Infernal Puzzle Box.
In this, I have no
This
idea.
new reward item will get stronger with each Legacy of Zamorak update you complete, and the final tier is something you're really going to want.
Like that basically tells us nothing about that thing.
Now, get yourself ready.
To fight a god. I mean, it's so hype, isn't it? I mean, that's such a good video. They did a great job with that. I really, really enjoyed that. So, yeah, needless to say, I am extremely hyped for the boss fight release. If you don't know, it's coming out on July 4th. So that's in about a week and a half from now. And I cannot wait. It's going to be so, so dope. So yeah, and as far as the other updates go, the quest looks cool. The Wilderness Rejuvenation Reborn thing sounds like they've got the right idea. I definitely think that it should be still dangerous. You don't want to just be able to go in. Like right now, the wilderness isn't dangerous at all unless you run into another person, which is not ideal. Like, I think it should be dangerous no matter what you're going in the wilderness to do, but not from other people, like they said. So yeah, and I assume the teleportation limits are still going to be in place, which will be important, I would say, for making things dangerous in the upper levels. But yeah, they're reworking the Wilderness Slayer, adding things to the drop table. We'll see there's got to be a bunch more changes than that, obviously, but this update's not coming until the fall at some point, so we got a long way to wait until then. But yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. We are getting the full details of the Zamorak Elite Dungeon and the rewards on Saturday, so I will definitely be making a video then to break those down. They're going to be probably telling us at least like the name of the bow, maybe what it does, special attack, what that armor is, and whatever else there might be from this new Elite Dungeon. I hope you guys are hyped up for this. I know I am. Really can't wait for this update to come out. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Saturday for that breakdown. Peace out.